What's up, you damn gorgeous and beautiful gamers? Welcome back to role-playing games. This is Mario Colony, the internet, but we like to discuss about RPGs. If you like the content, like the video, super appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel as well. If you like the content, we talk about RPGs in here. And in today's video, we're going to be doing a top of the best longswords in the game for you to start planning your build. We're going to start at number 3 with our Sinister Shade Sword. This is the Magnamallow one. Let's do a kind of a review for these weapons, and then this, of course, based on my opinion, what I believe to be the case. Alright, so starting up with this one. The thing that I like about this one is that it is not necessarily a endgame weapon that you have to wait too long to get it. As a matter of fact, as soon as you finish up the main game, which is not all of the game, once you finish the main game, you are going to keep fighting. Beware of spoilers for the weapons. If you are in here, then you're probably aware of it. You're looking for the best swords in the game. Dude, they had to be endgame weapons. Anyways, this is the very first one that you're going to need. The Sinister Longsword 1. After that, Sinister Longsword 2. As you move on, as you move forward in the game, you're going to get more and more materials with this thing. But basically, what I like about this one is that you can get it very early, previous to endgame. That way you will be able to keep this thing and keep upgrading it as much as you need. And upgrade levels are actually not that bad. It's just 2 levels of upgrade. Grab the first one, upgrade, and you already have the endgame one version. So what I like about this one is that, as you can see, if you plan your build with handicraft, you can achieve definitely wide sharpness. Quite a hefty amount of wide sharpness, I should like to believe. It also has blast. One of the, if not the only weapon on base game. I do not know if we already have Basilisk use on this version of the game, but nevertheless, yeah, one of the only swords that has blast, long swords that has blast. One thing to have in mind is that usually a longsword is not your best choice to go for elemental build. If you want to go elemental, then you're most likely better be off with sword and shield or dual blades. That being said, what I like about blast is that it is very useful because the damage is actually quite significantly more when you're doing rampages. And the effect of it actually looks quite amazing on the enemies, so there is that. Now, it has one of the highest raw damage in the entire game, plus it doesn't have necessarily a low affinity. Yes, it has 0% affinity, but most of the weapons that have this like kind of so much damage, they usually have negative affinity. On top of that, we have a level 2 slot and a level 1 slot for decorations. So yeah, if you ask me, this is the top 3. This is the third most powerful weapon for you to start building your build. And if you are looking for a blast build for a longsword, this is definitely your go-to. Moving on to number 2, we have Deepest Night. Deepest Night, you're going to start getting it from the as soon as you kill the first Magnamallow. What I do not like about it is that you do have to go through the Iron Gospel first. It really is not that much of a hassle, but then you have to go through the Hidden Seva, and then for the Hidden Seva 2, all the way to the Deepest Night. Again, as you move forward through the game and you start encountering the low rank and high rank Nagakugas, you are going to be able to unlock this bad boy. Now, the beautiful thing about this thing is that you don't necessarily need to struggle that much in making a build for this weapon. You already have a hefty amount of wide sharpness in this weapon, which means that you're not going to have to worry about handicraft. For example, you also have a beautiful 40% affinity. A beautiful 40% affinity that is going to allow you to, if you so desire, you can only attach weak spot tenderizer to your build, as long as Wirebug, Whisper, and Quick Sheath, and that's everything that you need for this build. And there you go, and it's an endgame weapon that is going to deal lots and lots and lots of DPS. The thing in this weapon is that it has some of the lowest damages of the bunch, but yeah, that is compensated because of the high affinity, 40% affinity, like I said. Just with tenderizer, weak spot, something like that, you are already set up to start stacking and stacking and stacking more skills into your build. Another thing that I like about this weapon it's that it's so versatile. Like, as soon as you get the first one, you can keep using this little bad boy and do not worry about anything else. You don't have to be swapping weapons, and since it is a raw damage weapon, you don't have to be worrying about weaknesses or strengths of the bosses. You can basically use this thing against anything, and that is so beautiful about this weapon. And finally, we have the Mirage Fin sword. This is definitely an endgame weapon. What I love about this weapon is that as soon as you get to the main enemy, which is an endgame enemy, endgame hunt, you don't have to carry the 3 into anything else. You only have to hunt that boss, that monster. You don't have to be worrying about little materials that you are missing, and what you are going to be worrying about this thing. This is a very, how should I put it? If you do not want to struggle that much with a build, endgame build, then definitely go either for Narga or Magna. Because for this one, you're going to need endgame decorations, very hungry on talismans as well. So the basic of it all is that it's almost the highest, most damaging weapon in the game, with a beautiful 210 raw damage. On top of that, if you add a little bit of handicraft into the weapon, I would say that, for example, a handicraft and a protective polish, and that is basically more than enough that you need to be able to have a wide sharpness for quite a whole lot of time. You also have 15% affinity. It's not going to be enough with weakness exploit. You are going to need some expert jewels in here. But what I like about this weapon as well is that it has a defense bonus, and for this to be such a filthy damaging weapon, it has a plus 15% affinity. It's not a negative affinity weapon, on top of having a plus level 2 and plus level 1 decoration slots. So yes, it is a very hungry decoration weapon, but if you manage to pinpoint the right skills with the right tools, with the right armors, and you have those elusive charms that you need, you can definitely make the most powerful build on this game with this weapon. And also to have in mind that it is not an elemental weapon, so you can very much carry this weapon against every single monster that you're going to fight, and it's going to be efficient. You're not going to be downgraded by resistances nor anything like that. And that is pretty much it. Again, if you like the content, like the video, super appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel as well. If no one has told you today that you're a gorgeous and beautiful person, you are indeed a gorgeous and beautiful person. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you goddamn gorgeous and beautiful people in the next one, and goodbye.